Hello there, and welcome to this edition of the ADIPEC Energy Dialogues. This is a series of conversations that we have with energy leaders from around the world. All of this, of course, in the run-up to ADIPEC 2021 in November in Abu Dhabi, live and in person. So we're really looking forward to seeing you. I'm Ethna Trainer, and today I'm absolutely delighted to welcome the Managing Director and the Senior Vice President for Enterprise Business Group from Huawei Middle East. Thank you so much for joining us. Alaa Elshimy.
Pleasure. Thank you for getting me here.
So Alaa, I mean, when we look at the work that Huawei does, 5G technology, this is at the very core of all of your applications. But when we look at what you do, how can this actually help to fuel economic growth and diversification, and really particularly in the energy sector?
Yeah, as you know, the digital economy is expected to be around $25 billion by 2025. This is huge. And if we look at the fuel of the digital economy today, it is the Industry 4.0. And what actually gave birth to Industry 4.0, it is the 5G, AI, and Cloud 2.0 computing. So this is the new technology that's giving birth to Industry 4, and it is helping the different industries, different verticals, being oil and gas, being utilities, being government, to change the way they do business, to transform their business, to bring more productivity, increase efficiency, increase the safety and security. So a lot of benefits, and it is all, as you rightly said, about the application and use cases of the Industry 4.0, including the 5G technologies.
Well, maybe let's look a little bit more in detail on that, the fourth industrial revolution, really looking at the digital transformation. I mean, you provide products and services, particularly in the oil and gas sector. So talk to me just a little bit more in depth in terms of how that 5G technology can make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, if we look at the three main segments of the oil and gas, upstream, midstream, and downstream, and what could be the different applications in there. So if we start with the upstream and talking about the digital oil field and how you can have everything in the well, all the devices, the pumps, the pressure meter, the temperature meter, and all the other devices, getting that connected in real time and having all the wells in the field connected to the control room and having a real-time monitoring system of your oil field. This is one of the use cases or benefits that you could have from the 5G. Of course, in addition, you have a lot of other applications talking about asset tracking as well in real time from the control room to everything you have in the field, being the engineers, being the cars, any machines, any devices. And this is one of the benefits that 5G gives, because two aspects here. First, you have a very high speed and you can have all of that in real time. Second, you have very low latency, so there is no delay between what you are sending and what you are receiving. Third, they are talking about broadband, so you can send a video streaming, audio, and data at the same time, compared to the push-to-talk communication that you might have in some of the fields. So these are some of the applications. Talking also about surveillance, you can have the intelligent cameras around the field, and you can have a kind of intrusion detection, and if people are allowed or not, and if someone is not allowed, getting the right alarm to the right person at the right time to take the right action, and a lot of other applications that you can have in the upstream. The same if you are talking about the midstream, having control of the inventory level, and using AI and 5G for the logistics management. We use that at Huawei itself when it comes to smart logistics, and we have saved more than $2 billion a year implementing this kind of technology. Talking about digital pipeline, again, for leakage detection and intrusion detection. A number of applications that you can have in particular for the oil and gas. And actually, I have seen a lot of the big players, I would say, in the region, without mentioning names, in the UAE in particular, and in Saudi, have implemented such technologies and have digital pipeline today and have digital oil fields. Globally, we have implemented that. We actually have more than like 35,000 kilometers of digital pipeline, and we have implemented hundreds of projects for digital oil fields and others.
I did, it's all about it's all about connectivity and keeping everybody in touch. And I can, hear when I listen to you, the great advantages for efficiency, effectiveness, and really, connecting everybody to make sure that, the progress is being made. But now I know Huawei, invests a lot, but recently you invested 15 million in the Middle East, Huawei Cloud Oasis. A little bit about that, and particularly where this technology play in ecosystems in the region.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have different nodes across the globe, and we have nodes as well in the Middle East for our clouds. And our cloud actually is a bit different than traditional ones. So you are not talking only about the infrastructure as a service, but you are talking about everything as a service, including solutions like high performance computing and different applications like the ones we have mentioned. And that's at a global level. What we want to do is that we want to develop the digital transformation and cloud capabilities in the region, in the Middle East. That's why we're making this investment, and we're making it in particular with our ecosystem. So the 15 million, as you rightly said, 7.5 million of that will go to our partners, and we're talking about developing 1,500 partners to become cloud capable and ready to do the cloud migration. And if they have any application that we can host it in our cloud, if they want to have a kind of a test and development environment, we can develop it as well and deliver that from our cloud. 2.5 million will go as credit from storage capacity and processing power and other credit that they can utilize on the cloud. And then the rest will go for the training as well. So as I mentioned, 1,500 partners, 1,000 developers also are planning to train and develop and host and provide testing and development environments. In addition, we are working with 10 universities as well to help along the same. We'll be providing 35 different training courses to train the different people on the cloud area. So that's at a brief what we have for the Cloud Oasis and the investment we are talking about for the cloud.
That sounds a very ambitious project, but it just also, sounds a very interesting project, bringing so many partners in and really, delivering something new and something, future-proof in many ways. Really very exciting. So well done. But let's stay with some of the great work you're doing in Huawei and looking maybe into next year. Where do you see future growth, if I could ask you, in the Huawei portfolio?
Yeah, so basically, when we are talking about Huawei portfolio, we have two main go-to markets. We have the business to consumer, and we have the business to business. When we are talking about business to business, we are talking about working with the carriers like the Etisalat and Du of the world. And in there, of course, the 5G and the ICT are the two main solutions we have in our portfolio. We also have our business to consumer, and in there we're talking about the devices being phones, laptops, and others. To the core of your question, in my opinion, will come from the 5G to B, the 5G to business. That's where you will fuel the Industry 4.0 or the digital economy with the implementation or the use cases of the Industry 4.0. So applications like smart government, applications like smart grid and the utilities, like digital banking, like digital rail, and like digital oil fields, like what we talked in the energy. So this will be the real benefits from the Industry 4.0. This is what will create the digital economy, and that's where our biggest focus is going to be. We also introduced one new business unit, which is the intelligent automotive. And in there, what we will be doing actually will be providing the intelligence and the connectivity. We have signed with some big names globally of the automotive makers, where you will have a small data center the size of a book into your car, and all the intelligence you will have in your car and all the connectivity you will have from your car into the cloud, and the applications that will be on the cloud will be delivered by Huawei. So we're not going to manufacture cars, but we will be providing the intelligence and connectivity and cloud applications to the automotive providers.
I mean, there's so much indeed. When we look at it, all of the energy sector is certainly looking at future and this concept of digitalization. And I think really you being, a key enabler in this. So very, very exciting to hear. But let's talk about climate change when it comes to what you're doing now. And I know the Carbon Disclosure Project, has actually listed you as an A-list company. So give us a feel for what Huawei is doing, in terms of sustainability and, where you're looking at emissions reduction.
Yeah, so basically, one of the reasons why we have got the A rating is because we have reduced the CO2 emission per 1 billion RMB. This is the Chinese currency, by almost 33.2%. So that's a definite fantastic reduction, I would say. And this is one of the key reasons why we have got such rating. Not only that, I want also to share with you some of the numbers here. So basically, we have generated 325 billion kilowatt of electricity from renewable energy and saved 10 billion kilowatt of electricity. So when we look at these numbers, that makes a huge difference and huge contribution. We believe that technology should be one of the key enablers for the green world. Yeah, and we are integrating that into everything we do at Huawei. From the product, from the process, from the technology, and it is not new. We have that in our plan since 2011. So that's something we continue to invest in, and we continue to be committed to.
And I think it is really about this journey of decarbonization, and it's the energy transition and the very meaning of the word. It's something that you start and you continue to do. I think that's what's so important. I have to leave it there, Alaa. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. And that was Alaa Elshimy, the Managing Director and the Senior Vice President for the Enterprise Business Group with Huawei Middle East. So delighted to have him there, one of the key sponsors with ADIPEC 2021. Thank you so much. I'm Etna Trainer, and from the ADIPEC Energy Dialogues, thank you again.